Hello and welcome to Season 2, Round 2. We are at China today. It's obviously the race that we didn't have last season. I swapped it for Australia this season. And it's going to be interesting to see where we're at in terms of pace around China. As you're about to see, we have got a dry race, which is really good in terms of our ability. But I'm not sure how I'm going to compete with the AI this season. At China especially, because obviously we didn't race against them last year. As normal, I'm just going to get the practice modes out of the way and then we will head into qualifying and we'll see exactly where we stand against the AI. Right, we're on our third lap of Q1. We're 1.3 seconds up on our best time. We're going to try to get through to Q2. We're looking like we're going to be like best of the worst at China, really. Not that amazing. I'm not really thinking about points at the moment based off qualifying. But can we get through to Q2? Let's have a look. We're not in the top 14. Lewis on provisional pole. 15th. Can we get 15th? No, Giovinazzi 16th. So we do get through to Q2, but we're 7 tenths off 10th. So I'm not going to go for a run in Q2. I'm going to save the tyres and I'm going to go for a 2-stop in the race. So 1 minute 29, we would not have been able to get into Q3. So I think the best thing that we have done is not do a run, save those tyres. It means we've got a free choice in the morning.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once more, a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt we've got plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles an hour, with DRS assisting the cars down the back straight before they brake into the sharp hairpin at turn 14. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Matsushita, Leclerc, Vettel, Gasly, and Carlos Sainz, Bottas, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, and Giovinazzi, Ocon, the owner driver, and Guan Yu Zhou, and Nikita Mazepin, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Lundgaard, and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, so we are going for a 2-stop. There is 5 red lights and we are away. We get a fairly decent start. Giovinazzi in front gets a better start than us, but he looks like he's blocked off by Tsunoda and Stroll. So we're going to go around the outside. Giovinazzi brakes, and there's a Ferrari in the middle of us. We brake sharply. We luckily just missed Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look at a little replay of what happened to the Monacolese. I think that's what you call it. It looks like that's Vettel who flies across and gives him wing damage, and then he just returns to the racing line. Almost takes us out. Let's have a look at another replay of that. I think it is Vettel who just flies into him. Probably should be a penalty for the Aston Martin driver. So we got the inside of Ocon, Giovinazzi, and can we get Tsunoda as well? It looks like we do, with the cars bunching up on that corner on lap 1. We've now got to try and push on and catch Bottas, which is going to be difficult, especially around that bend. The AI have very good this year. We all know how good they are around sweeping bends, especially in the dry.
There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Like position, and we're not even on lap 3 yet, so it's not great. Let's have a look one last time at that race start. I'm not quite sure what happened. Why did Vettel fly across? This is more focused on me and the way I avoided the crash. We do get hit by the Haas up the rear, and we managed to avoid Leclerc very well. We go round the outside at, I think that's turn 3, turn 2 potentially. And then we're just constantly chasing the pack. Like I say, we do go up the inside of 3 cars. This is a great move. We're going to see a replay of here. Tsunoda just doesn't cover off the inside, and we move up 3 positions. Now on lap 4, DRS has obviously been enabled, but we're 2 seconds behind Valtteri in the Ferrari. We get a really bad line there, and Tsunoda gets past, as does Ocon. We're going to try and fight Ocon into this corner.
And try to keep up with them. There might be an
to
opportunity
go around the
to take a
outside,
place
but
back.
we're going to lose so much time to Yuki Tsunoda, who's just going to drive away now, unfortunately. We're going to get DRS, but one little mistake and we almost lose. Well, we do lose 1 position, we almost lose 2. And we're not going to catch the young Japanese rookie. Try and late brake. Almost hit him. I think we just about collide our tyre into the back of his car. No damage, fortunately. Lap 6 now. We have been overtaken by Ocon. And we're just going to try and stay with him if we can. We've got Giovinazzi right up behind us. I feel like team orders might come into play. If he does catch up with us, we're just going to let him through. He's much quicker than us in this race. And he might be able to get us points. Okay, on the following lap, we have noticed that Giovinazzi is quicker than us, so we're going to move out off the racing line and let the Italian through. As quite a few cars have pitted, as you can see, Hamilton has pitted, Lando's pitted. I think that might be Max Verstappen. It is a Red Bull that has pitted, and there's an an Aston Martin in the pit currently. We're going to try and stay with our Italian teammate, but it's not going to be easy. We've not been able to keep up with many cars yet in this Grand Prix. Yeah, as you can see, a couple of laps later, and Giovinazzi's 2.6 seconds ahead of us. We've got Lewis Hamilton really close up behind us. He goes for a move which isn't there. We do make contact, but, well, he makes contact with us. Let's have a look at a little replay. We go around the outside, and Hamilton just has too much pace going into the corner, hits us and spins. He does manage to keep the car going, so Hamilton does... He does lose a little bit of time, but not that much, as Lando goes for the inside move. We're going to try to cut him off. We give him the racing room. And we manage to keep the position ahead of the young Brit. We lose so much time to the AI around that corner. Giovinazzi's now 3.5 seconds up the road. Okay, we've got DRS on this next lap 10 now. Verstappen has got through. Lando did get through, as did Hamilton. But we're going to try and fight Hamilton off, and we're going to go for a dive bomb on Max Verstappen. We've managed to pull it off. Who is that behind us? It's got to be Danny Ricciardo. We're going to head into the pits. Not this lap. We're going to try and stay out for another lap. Lando's caught Giovinazzi. He's within 2 seconds of him now, but he's pulled away 4 seconds of us. So the McLaren has got great pace around this Chinese great racetrack. Well, we've got what, 17 laps to go, and we're in P7, but we do have to make 2 pit stops still. We have committed to the 2 stop. Well, we haven't yet. We could go to hards, but I do want to go for the 2 stop. Look how tight Ricciardo, Verstappen and Hamilton are fighting. Hamilton might pick up damage at some point there, as when we go into the pit he does follow us in, and obviously he did go on hards, so I'm not sure why he would come in if he didn't have the damage. I believe he got damage in that little alteration between him, Verstappen and Ricciardo. We're going to go on to mediums, and I've got to be honest, the next stint is very boring. I'm going to skip out as much as I can, but we don't come out really near anyone. Hamilton goes on to softs and gets past us fairly quickly, and we're just aiming now for our second stint on our fresh soft tyres. Hopefully a safety car will come out, or something to bunch the pack up. Now on lap 21, so we've skipped most of that medium stint. As you can see, Giovinazzi's 8 seconds up the road. He's not really anywhere near us. We've kept signs behind us, 3 seconds behind us. But like I say, we've not really been fighting anyone, not really any overtakes. We've just been going around the track at the best pace we can, pretty much. Hamilton rounds the last corner. He obviously had to make another stop onto mediums after he went soft. He must have gone soft hards, soft mediums. Bit of a weird strategy for Lewis. As I did say, he probably got damage. So we do a quick stop, 2.5 seconds. We come out in P18, but we're all fresh softs. So we're going to try and chase down Lundgaard. And as you can see on lap 24, we are in his DRS. And he is on very old mediums. As there's a yellow flag up the road, we're going to see what's happening. It looks like it's a Mercedes if you look on the minimap. Looks like Lewis Hamilton is out of the Grand Prix, so that moves us up to 17th. Hamilton does just have some sort of failure. He pulls to the left hand side of the road and will get out of the car and go retire and have an early shower and a cup of tea. But now we've got Lundgaard in our sights. We're going to try and get past our old teammate. Can we go up the inside? I'm going to try and make a move. We don't. We break out of it, but we do have the traction and a better exit than Lundgaard. We're going to use our ERS and we're about to enable DRS. Can we get as close to Zhou as possible, his teammate? And we've got 4 laps to try and make as many positions up as we possibly can.
Nice work. That brings you up
We've got Zhou and Schumacher up the road. Can we catch them? Leclerc is 3 seconds up the road. I'm not sure if we're going to have the tyre wear to be able to catch the Ferrari driver. But, I mean, whatever happens, we're not going to get points in this race.
To teammate ahead is 25.9 seconds.
We're going to follow Zhou around this corner. We're really close to him here. Sweet. I never know how to take that corner. I think I take it differently every single lap I've ever raced it. Obviously I've not raced it as much this season because China was taken off the calendar. But even on the last game I just never quite knew how to get the corner right. As we go around the outside of Zhou in the Alfa Romeo. Obviously Bottas has been confirmed to be racing for the Alfa Romeo next season. Be interesting to see how the Finn does there. Obviously Kimi Raikkonen's retiring and Bottas is going to be taking his position. We're now chasing down Michael Schumacher's son, Mick Schumacher, for a P14 finish. He is obviously in the Haas racing seat. And we are in DRS of him. A little late break to gain a little bit more time. We have got a lot of fuel in the car, so we do need to be careful with our braking. Almost 3 extra laps, which isn't great. We need to start underfueling the car, as we are going to enable as much ERS as possible and overtake Mick Schumacher with DRS down the main straight of China. Probably one of the longest straights in F1. And we move up to P14. We're going to try and get Leclerc, but it's going to be a tough ask to try and catch up with the Ferrari. 2.7 seconds up the road.
Is 2.7 seconds.
Lap 27 now, penultimate lap. We're about to head on to our final lap. But there is a yellow flag behind us. That is one of the Alfa Romeo drivers. Looks like it is Lundgaard, our old teammate. As you can see from the perspective of the AlphaTauri, he's just spun. He spun on the final, on the apex after the final, the long straight, and a yellow flag is out. But he isn't out of the race, I don't believe. He will carry on, but his tyres are going to be knackered. Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix. It's a good win for Red Bull there. Looks like Matsushita has come second, so the rookie in his second race for Mercedes. Obviously, it was a big thing that they've signed the rookie driver. Mercedes don't normally do that. In real life, they've just signed George Russell, but he's had, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 amazing seasons at the Williams. We're going to bring it home P13 now. I'm not 100% sure who pit or gave way for us to finish 13th, because we was obviously running P14. But we're going to bring it home. We're going to get a P13 finish. Unfortunately, no points for either driver. But that is the end of the Chinese Grand Prix.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly well-deserved win. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. It's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen's excellent result today sees him take over as leader of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Well, Lance Stroll would be my pick. He managed to keep a cool head today whilst pushing through the field.
Let's move on to the constructors. McLaren supplant the previous leaders, taking control of the championship. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.